Hello, everyone. This is Jane. Very nice to see you again. I thought I would just read my latest compilation of thoughts on art for this video. And it's called The Resurrection of Art. Art has been both cyber-stabbed and officially lobotomized. It is up to us to correct humanity's creative evolution if ever we are to live in an aesthetically beautiful world again. The absolute relevance of art has been missing from our education, often disguised as just another curricular subject holding little or no significance, when it is in fact the pinnacle elemental factor of every advanced civilization. You see old maps from Mycenae with the palace, and then over here are the artists' quarters. We don't have that anymore. Only chosen experts can speak on art, and only chosen artists can be featured in coveted, protected art circles, just like in Hollywood, where if you don't play their game, you are out. I have my own example of this from being highly successful with my feminist art, not realizing it was part of the transhumanist agenda. Feminism was just one little step on the way to transhumanism. But once I moved into the realm of the divine feminine, I was out as a player. This is all about to change because there has been a great awakening in every field: history, geography, the earth. But the field of art is the greatest one to dissect because art is related directly to creativity, which is connected to soul and the cosmos. Through art, we access our higher selves and therefore connect to Creator, which in turn affects our evolution as a species. This is the last thing our controllers want, for it is they who seek to design our evolution. True artists know how to tap into their sovereignty as creators and cannot be manipulated to produce works that further the agenda of the controllers. Furthermore, these self-appointed world leaders are seeking in real time to deactivate our souls through nanotechnology by infiltrating our blood with synthetic materials such as graphene oxide, spike proteins, and synthetic biocompatible polymer gels. These substances are patented, which allows the controllers to then actually own the body of whoever accepts these foreign and damaging synthetics into their bodies. From here, they're able to remote control humans and human thought, and individual creative thought becomes suspended because it is infiltrated by exterior sources that are not divine. The all-encompassing name for this is transhumanism. Holding on to our creativity is so important and deeply linked to avoiding synthetic infusions that ultimately create a wall between humans and source, God, creator, or whatever your preferred term might be. The Tavistock Institute for Human Relations since 1947 has long been trying to shape the moral, spiritual, cultural, political, and economic decline of the United States, and has had a devastating effect on the moral, spiritual, cultural, political, and economic situation in the world. They take the abnormal and they frame it to be normal. And many, many examples of this can be found in art. and one example, two actually, that I know of offhand, off the top of my head, is the Urinal by Deschamps in 1919. I think he came out with that. And then no, that was 1917. And then in 2019, there was an artist, Maurizio Catalan, and he came out with a banana tacked to a wall and then duct taped. And that costs $120,000 and is considered fine art. So there's a good example of normalizing the abnormal. And it all started with Edward Bernays and manipulating the minds of people in the early 1900s. And he was part of the whole move to get everybody to smoke. Well, women, he wanted women to smoke. And he was able to do an ad campaign that doubled the cigarette company's income in just like overnight. So these institutions, there's over 2,000 think tanks in America alone, let alone the United Kingdom. And they're constantly working to shape our thinking. So art today appeals to the lowest common denominator as far as I'm concerned, and it highlights obtuse abstract art, sexual and demonic depravement, and has the gall to call urinals and bananas great art icons of our time. So we have to, it's up to us to correct all this. And I believe really amazing times are coming. And I believe that we need to be prepared and ready for them. And we're going to throw out all this academia, and we're going to bring in a whole new way of being, a whole new way of authenticity in art. So if humanity wishes to return anywhere near to our glory days of artistic perfection and soulfulness, we had better start now. So to this end, I've created an art teaching book that includes inspiration methods and how to create from the soul. And its ultimate goal is to jumpstart our lost creativity that is slowly being buried in external digital methods of creating art that cannot breach the firewall to source by design. And in this book, let me get the book. In this book, there are only 10 steps to learning the basics of visual art, and you can either teach yourself art or use the book to teach art yourself. So as we move into the coming golden age, we will need our creativity intact. Once one has learned the artistic creativity and one's creative neurons are firing on all cylinders, the creativity doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop at visual art alone. It has the power to infiltrate all realms of life and enhance it, you know, from gardening to cooking to environmental and scientific breakthroughs. We are in a creative race against time. So help me get the word out by telling people about my book, Splat. I never created it with dollar signs in my eyes. I created it as a solution to the dwindling interest in art and its importance in positive human evolution. Start teaching or learn art for yourself. We are all born artists by divine right. We just get our creativity sucked out of us by the pressure to survive in the world. Make time for art and you will be amazed how it changes your life. Art is a therapy too, and a great way to heal from stress and trauma. People engrossed in art lose time and connect to universal consciousness more easily. Art is coming home, baby. So Get Splat. It's on Amazon, sadly. I'm sorry. It's in other places too, but I do hope you get it and share it, because there's been some studies done by NASA that shows how our creativity is incrementally sucked out of children as they go through life, through this schooling. And we're all born creative geniuses. And this is a way to retain your creative genius. And I'm sure it can be done through music, writing, theater, and many other art forms. But I chose visual art because it's what I know. So thank you so much for listening. And I'll see you soon. Bye.